try to think about who you guys are. So I want to say, dear customers, dear co-creators, prospective employees and friends, I hope. It's been really exciting to be here this morning, I think, walking around, looking at the technologies. So I made a few phone calls to my colleagues saying, come down here, take a look. I also organize concerts on our farm. So now I know how to take less risk and increase the number of concerts. So this is very exciting. I'm originally a lawyer. I spent 17 years in industry, established industry. Some of that time in automotive manufacturing, quite a lot in renewable energy, oil and gas as well. And now I'm the new head of SINTEF, trying to understand everything we do and trying to understand how we fit into this new, this economy, this more complex economy that we're moving into. I've been asked to talk about how we create impact. But first I thought it would be good to explain a bit more about who we are, what we do, and especially what we do with small companies. I have some answers, but I don't have all the answers, but it would be great to get some help. Just a few facts about SINTEF to start. We are the largest independent research organization in Scandinavia. 2,000 employees from more than 70 nations. And I think we could say we recruit the best of the best. More than 55% of our researchers have a PhD. We have 3,000 customers approximately, and we think of ourselves as a bridge or an enabler between academia and our customers in business and in the public sector. So the idea is for us to work on applied research, and we are actually a spin-off of NTNU 65 years ago, and we cooperate very closely with NTNU. I won't spend much time on this, but I just want to point out that we get 7% of our income each year from the state directly, and the rest of it we have to compete for. Half directly from business and half in various co-funded income streams that I can explain a bit later. The consequence of that is that we have to be on our toes all the time and always generate new projects, always generate new income stream. We sell knowledge for about 3 billion kroner a year. I'm very, very proud of that. Our value creation is through our sales for our customers and spin-offs. To the extent we make money, which we try to do very hard every year, we invest it in laboratories. This is the newest lab. We invested 165 million kroner, just SINTEF. It is a high voltage lab. You can make lightning. It's amazing. It's not very full exactly this week because there's a downturn in the power industry. So I thought maybe some of you guys have some really genius ideas about what you can use real lightning for. I'll invite you to come up, maybe for free. I have to talk to my colleagues about that. So if you can use a flash, that would be great. But then again, labs, test facilities, prototyping is very, very important in order to facilitate new startups. And I think we have a lot of big laboratories, but also a lot of small equipment that can be used to that purpose. SINTEF has various roles. In a way, we have two different roles. One is to conduct applied research services for our customers. Our customers are both established industry and new enterprises. So in that sense, what we do creates impact in the businesses and in the public sector. Some of the work we do is related to grand challenges that the government has sort of put out special money bags where we partner with industry and research partners to solve those. I'll revert to this in a second. The other stream of value creation and impact is through commercializing our own technologies. And I'll speak about that at the end. Here's what we do. To your direct question, what can we do? How can we help these companies? This is a slide about what we do for all our customers. We have some huge customers, some medium-sized customers, some quite small ones. Some companies use SINTEF as their R&D department. We are working a cross-functional way between ICT, material science, chemistry, marine constructions, fisheries, energy, manufacturing, oil and gas, healthcare, as well as the construction industry. So we're truly a cross-functional research institution. Some companies come to us and ask us to be their R&D department. Some customers use us a lot and have frame agreements cutting across all these function areas. We do a lot of bilateral and multi-client industry projects. Like, for example, tomorrow we're opening a new upgrade of the largest laboratory, the multi-phase flow lab, up at Tiller here in Trondheim. And we have many oil companies now working on how can you more efficiently transport oil, gas, and water, and make sure that they don't clog up when you try to tie in small fields to old infrastructure, making oil and gas much cheaper than it used to be. Then, just to the previous speaker, we do a lot of EU projects. SINTEF is by far Norway's largest participants in EU research. In the 7th framework program, we had more than 200 projects working with 90 industry partners. So the companies basically put in their own time and research, and then they can tap into a network of scientists from all across Europe and do large research programs with virtually no money in for yourself, but you have to put in your own time to be a participant. Then we have a fairly large portion of our projects are done with state co-financing, the Forskningsrådet co-financing. These are projects where we identify something, a business wants to do research. Again, they put in their own time, and the work we do is provided for by the Forskningsrådet. So in a way, it's a way of leveraging your own time and tapping into our cross-functional discipline scientists. What our customers also tell us is that the network they get through working with SINTEF is very important, that they are then able to meet industry partners from other countries and from similar and complementary industries in Norway. And of course, through SINTEF, since we serve many industries, we're able to translate knowledge from one industry to the other. I think that is the most important contribution we have to make to the individual company. And recently there was an evaluation of the technological institutes, i.e. not universities, but foundations like SINTEF. And one of the questions was, is there an impact? How big is the impact? And I thought I would bring this slide. It was released yesterday, so it's pretty fresh news. Some economists have evaluated the technical industries, industrial research institutes. And what they say is that the impact analysis concludes that the institutes play a very important role in the Norwegian innovation system, and the direct and indirect economic impact is of great importance to Norway. And if you look at the bottom, over a 10-year period, they conclude that 800 billion of additional turnover, billion NOK of additional turnover is generated by the user companies. So we are very, very proud of this, of course, and we think it's a great testament to our impact. Here's one example. This is Raufoss, in the middle of the sticks, where they make automotive parts, a place you wouldn't imagine any automaker from Germany or the US or anywhere would come. This is a very handsome development engineer from Audi who has just decided to make his global sourcing of wheel suspensions in aluminum in Raufoss, Norway. Raytheon has done the same with their rocket engines for missiles. Why do they do that? Well, it's because we have an industrial complex that's able to bring out extremely advanced materials in aluminum, in steel, in composites, and in plastics. The cool thing is that SINTEF has 100 people working there in a workshop with some testing facilities. We want to upgrade it, but it's local testing experimentation facilities and a hotline to Trondheim and to Oslo to the more high-tech research capabilities of NTNU and SINTEF. And here's a real ecosystem of material-based industry that develops into aerospace, into automotive, and into general machining. It's quite an exciting example. Microsensors from our MINA lab in Oslo. This is an example where our scientists, together with the doctors at Sunnaas sykehus, have built or developed a microsensor that is, I think it's called implanted. It's not operated, it's just kind of put into the bladder of people who have broken their back. And the sensor explains when it's time to empty the bladder. This saves work, and of course it creates a much better life for the patients. We work to commercialize this technology, and we work a lot with sensor technology for lots of customers. And a third little example, this is from another one of our big labs, the big Ocean Basin up at Hjort. We work with oil and gas companies, we work with shipping companies, we work with drone companies. I use this example because we see that big data is becoming extremely important in shipping and in oil and gas. A way to innovate, to cut costs and extend life of oil fields and extend life and reach of ships. And of course we work with NTNU on AMOS, on automated ship solutions. So this was the one arm, our main business, which is to serve our customers, big and small, with a vast array of scientific and social science assistance. The other part of our work is to take the technology that is kind of developed almost by accident and make companies out of it. And here are some of the 80 companies that have been spun out of SINTEF. That's through spinoffs or licensing. SINTEF TTO, Technology Transfer Office, is a subsidiary of SINTEF. And our idea is to manage our intellectual property rights in a way that meets our vision, which is technology for a better society, and is also part of funding our ongoing research activity. So we take quite an interest in how do you develop a company in Norway. And we developed this slide because we spend quite a lot of time on lobbying, how to make the ecosystem for new companies in Norway function well. And our opinion is that there have been improvements in what we call the ecosystem for commercialization in Norway during the last few years. There's an almost sustainable value chain from education and R&D. There is existence of venture and private equity. But there's something about the pre-seed and the seed phase. The seed phase is the Forny program. The Forny program is not big enough, but it's much bigger than it used to be, so we think that's a good step forward. But we're working hard to use our lobbying clout to improve the conditions of finding funding in that critical phase before you have a prototype you want to test. So we try to support in that sense. We have some success, I don't know why it says success criteria, I think it's supposed to say success stories. SINTEF, since 2002, we have put together 4 venture funds, some of them together with other investors. We invest in startup companies based on our own research, as well as research from NTNU in our last fund. Some of the most successful companies in our portfolio, from SINTEF 1 to 3, are, I will revert to Rassman, but Powell is a great company developing business-critical software and related services for energy companies, municipalities, and contractors. So they're now going from big data on energy to big data on water. Very cool. Nakre, intelligent hearing protection. I believe that's now acquired by Honeywell. And e-drilling solution, which is a state-of-the-art solutions and planning, training, etc., for the drilling business. And in SINTEF Venture 5, which was put together last year, we now have 5 companies. And one of them is the amazing 3D camera company Shapecrafter that I hope you'll hear a lot about. This SINTEF Venture 5 was put together last year, and we're very proud that through our track record we managed to get the European Investment Fund to put in about half of the 200 million plus money put in. So we think that's a very strong quality mark. and a real tribute to our TTO team's work. So last year we were really proud. We were at the, what's it called? The Norwegian Investment Forum, gave 2 SINTEF Spinoffs, well, all the prizes at the Investor of the Year Awards. Maybe that's not good for the recruiting, but we're very proud of it anyway. Rassman was acquired by Nordic Capital for more than 1 billion kroner. It's an innovative tracer and data analysis technology for reservoir monitoring. For us, this is a fantastic story, both because you create a really sustainable company, but also because their research, again, has enabled us to buy an absolutely fantastic laboratory park that's able to find a microgram in a swimming pool. So I've told someone here that we should start the anti-doping agency. You know, we have fantastic lab results for very, very fine tracer elements. The other one is Gas Secure, which was acquired by Dreger for 500 million kroner. It's an optical wireless gas detector company for applications in the oil and gas industry, but I'm sure in many others. And I think our optics department is really quite amazing. I hope I've given you some samples of what we do. As a CEO, I'm really trying to push my team to think about the changes going on where we have, you know, worked so well with big companies, and we do not insignificant work with small companies. But I think we need to open up and find, you know, ways to make that easier, and also to try to bring some of that fun that you talk about also into our business, because we think we have fun, but I'm sure we could have more fun. Thank you for your attention.